sorry.
It's okay. Hello everyone, this is DID Babies and welcome back to another episode. I am Rune from the Caster System.
I'm Naomi from the Dragon System.
And today we are going
to
to
look like I broke my arm. Oops.
And today we are going to be talking about headspaces and inner worlds.
Yeah.
So, what is a headspace? I mean, as a host that doesn't really get into headspace often, I feel like you're going to be doing most of the talking for this one.
Headspace is the space inside of the brain of people with DID and OSDD that is where the alters essentially live. It's where we spend our time when we're not fronting. Every system is going to have a different type of headspace. For us, personally, we have a huge system, no, well, we do have a huge system, but we have a huge city with a huge central park in it, and we have this little thing right outside of the city. It's like a warp pad that goes up to this little planet where most of our non-humans live. And, our headspace, we just kind of, we go about our lives inside of it, and we just live in there. And then we have this big building that's in the heart of the city, that's this huge beautiful building, and on the different floors of the building, me and Alec, which is I'm the secondary protector and organizer, and Alec is our primary protector and organizer, and we keep documents of things inside of that building about, altars, and we try to keep track of our altars as best as we can and keep track of names and all of that jazz. And then at the top floor, there's this huge thing which is our front, where you can either sit there and co-front, or you can watch, or you can, push yourself out to the front.
For us, we have a much smaller inner world. We have a much smaller headspace. It's like this green expanse, this like green field, and it's really, really pretty, and it's always, well, almost always sunny and like warm and gorgeous. And there's a little pond, and there's 3 little tiny homes where Amelie, Kyle, and I live, and then there's a small building where the littles live and where Amelie takes care of the littles. And then there's a pond and a waterfall. I already said that.
It's alright.
And then there's a small building that's kind of like a conference room without the rest of the building. It's just like a building conference room thing on its own, and that's what we have as the front. There's like a little place near like the front of the room where we can like step out and go to the front. It's like a little door that we can like step through to front. And then the rest of the building is just like a big table with a bunch of chairs where we hold system meetings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. We have a lot of different buildings for, the different altars we have in our buildings. My favorite space personally is my tattoo shop, which is kind of right beside our big central park. And we have a school for our littles, which is where Oliver and Amelia usually are. And it's got like, classrooms, but it's also got these huge gymnasiums, which are full of stuffed animals and bouncy houses, because obviously they're children who can make their own world. And then we've got like tree houses and stuff, and we have big theaters and just a lot of random stuff.
We have a theater, but it's not like for watching movies. The theater is actually at the opposite side of the world from the front, and it's just where you can sit and watch through the eyes what's happening. When someone's sitting in the theater, it kind of feels like they're sitting close to front, but it's a little bit different for us. Like, it doesn't feel like they're about to front, it feels like they're just kind of like sitting near your eyes, just like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Like you said, as a host, you don't get into headspace a lot. Ours, like Ash also is like that. She actually can't get into headspace by herself.
Yeah.
When she gets switched out, either by us being like, we're switching in, or she switches out on purpose. she just goes unconscious. And for us, that's kind of like, it's kind of like a little ball of energy that we see that kind of comes in and just kind of sits over the top of the front screen, which is really cool to see actually sometimes. But to get her into headspace, one of us actually has to grab that ball and pull it down to pull her into headspace, and then her body kind of manifests in headspace, and then she's there. But she only ever actually gets into headspace if one of us pull her in, and we normally only do that for system meetings, or if she's like verbally said to us before starting to dissociate that she wants to come into headspace, which we don't do often.
I can go into headspace on my own sometimes, but only when I like really need to for something. Like if Rin is about to front and I like really need to talk to Kyle for something, that like willpower, I guess, can bring me in. But that's really rare. Usually I have to have someone pull me in as well.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's going to be a different thing for each system. Some systems, their host can like fully, what's the word? Control when they are going in and out of the system's headspace. And not everybody calls it headspace. Sometimes people call it headquarters, sometimes people just call it inner world. There's just a lot of different names. We call it either headquarters or headspace. A lot of the time it's just HQ. But it's different. It's going to be different for each system. You need to figure out what's, good for you. If your host can't get into headspace at all, well, then that sucks, but that's just going to be how it's going to be. You just have to figure out for yourself.
Hi.
Oh, hello, Rin.
Hi.
How are you, Deep?
I'm good. Hi. Oh, it's me.
Yes, it is you. We're going to end the video now.
It's a fuzzy box.
We put that down for a second, okay?
Okay.
So, wave at the camera.
Hi.
And say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say, we've been the caster system.
We've been to Casta Systems.
And I'm the dragon system.